What is up, everyone? It's Monday again. It's New Year. Happy New Year. And we have some new timeless decks coming out. The rest is pretty much the same, but we're still going to go through it as usual. So let's get into it. All right. So in standard, we have mono white, mono red, Azur's Control, Selesnya Humans, Enchantments, and Boros Aggro. All of that's the same, nothing has changed. So your aggro decks are king and best of one. Best of three, Domain right now is on the top, but really it's any of these top few decks game. Boros Convoke, Domain, Mono Red, or Esper. Those are all really great decks in best of three. Still the same thing there. In Historic, we got Dimir Ninjas. Dredge is also very respectable. And then, of course, there's Wizards and Mono Red, which are both doing well. And then Geist is another one that's really top deck. Should be up here with Ninjas. Both of those are very, very solid decks. If we go to Alchemy, the Mono Red and Dimir Fairies are the top two. Is It Pirates is very close behind, and Gruulborn close behind that. Most of these are basically just standard decks with one or two additional cards from Alchemy. So if you have all the standard cards for these, you can definitely play these in Alchemy. So yeah, there's that. It's a little bit different than standard meta, so maybe that's more interesting than some of the other ones. All right, finally, Timeless. This is the new format that's really been kind of changing and updating in recent times. So we see Dimir Dredge is somehow creeping out on the top spot here, which is basically the historic Dredge deck with, I think, maybe only just a couple different cards. We're going to look at that in a second, but it's almost identical to the historic deck. We have Rakdos Burn. This is one that takes advantage of Lightning Bolt and Ragavan, and a few other burn cards in there that you wouldn't expect. So yeah, we showed that last week. If you want to see that, you can check that out last week. Rakdos Burn, very good. Then we got a 5-color Domain Zoo deck, which is just using advantage of all the creatures that scale based on the number of land types you have. There's quite a few 1 and 2 drops that get really big, so that's what that one's using. And then Mono Black Control. This is your decks which use Dark Ritual, sometimes Necropotence, sometimes they do Dark Tendrils, kind of shenanigans. Um, so yeah, really abusing the Dark Ritual card. So those are really your top decks. There are a few control decks which are doing quite well, but we'll look at those in a second. All right, Dimir Dredge. So yeah, I mentioned that this is really creeping up in format. Um, Really, it's just the historic deck from what I can see here. Wonder, I believe, is also historic legal, so nothing new here. You got of course, the fetch lands, Polluted Delta, and Bloodstained Mire, etc. But really, yeah, it's just exact same deck as historic with the fetch lands. So yeah, Dredge is too strong probably in both those formats. We may um have to see if they limit anything or do anything about it. But yeah, for now it's really strong. The 5-color Zoo deck, I mentioned we have this like wild Noctowl, which becomes a 3/3 when you have a plains and a mountain. And we've also got the Turtle Kavu, which its power and toughness scale based on how much domain you have. And then Ley Line Binding also scales off domain. So everything scales off domain. And of course, Oko is just a broken card. So that's this one. It's pretty strong, pretty hard to deal with, I have to admit. I've struggled with it a little bit with my control deck. And then this mono black one with Dark Ritual, Bowmasters, Necropotence, a lot of discard, Shieldred, One Ring, etc. Deathrite Shaman. Uh, it's just a lot of good stuff cards. You don't have to have mana fixing. You don't have to your mana ever. So there's not that much issue with mana in Timeless, but it's just solid that fact that you only use one color, you don't have any issues. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the. All right, so we've got two tournaments for standard from Robert Taylor, and looks like top deck is mono red. Second place is the Domain ramp deck. Third place, Esper midrange with the Schooner and the new creatures. And then fourth place, we got like a Demir, mostly mono black. Um, kind of, well, no, it's got some red in here. So I guess this is like a Grixis deck. Um, oh, that's very Dream Thief. I'm sorry. This is a Rakdos deck. Rakdos midrange, Archery into the Dross, Bloodtithe Harvester, Fairy, Dream Thief, Deep Cavern Bat, Geological Appraiser. So it's got the Discover stuff going on here. Not too much Discover. Yeah, I guess it's just somebody's homebrew. So this is kind of unique deck that we haven't really seen before, but it's based around the Rakdos midrange kind of archetype. So they got fourth place. So that's pretty cool. New deck, fourth place. And then this was the one from yesterday, and we see that first place is a black green, the land kind of deck that was popular a little bit ago. We also got, what is this? A blue white tempo deck, it looks like. Monastery Mentor, Halo Forger, Haughty Jin. Interesting. This is totally new deck. Um, yeah, wow, props to this person. They got second place. So totally new deck, second place, did very well. Um, I guess it's Esper because Halo Forger is blue black and Monastery Mentor is white, so it's an Esper deck, but a totally new Esper deck. Yeah, that's really cool. And then another ramp deck here, third place, and fourth place also ramp deck. So ramp, domain ramp, still very, very good in format. All right, and then we got a couple brews, not as many as before, but that's probably because of Christmas. So we see Dredge here. He's trying out Dredge in Timeless, and they were doing quite well. They had a 60% win rate. Their Dredge, it's basically what we saw already, though. Untap.gg. And then Ali Eldrazi, of course, with the brews, playing with Jeskai Ascendancy, which pumps up your creatures and it untaps them, so you can use Gigantha to kind of infinite mana and swing in for the lethal. So very cool. It's a very cool combo deck. Looks a little slow to me, but you know, there's a lot of ways to cheat stuff out, and he's using all the broken cards, so makes sense. All right, finally, this is a standard deck. It's similar to the blue-black deck we saw before with the Invasion of Amonkhet and the um, Deepest Betrayal creature card there. However, this is a Esper version. So splashing for Rafine and for Denic to get you some life gain, get you some of that kind of broken Esper stuff that Esper has going on. The mana base and the Rafine pumping all your creatures. So yeah, like a good version of that Esper deck, and they did very well with it, getting to Mythic and stuff. So very cool. All right. Well, we're keeping it short this time. It's New Year, so I got stuff with the family. But hope you go out there, have some fun, and until next time.